Hello and welcome to another episode of The Wild Dispatch. I'm Robin and I'm back with more skills and stories from the wild. Today we are in an amazing place. This area is, I think, about 5 hours east of Johannesburg, which is in the north part of South Africa. I've just come here from quite a wonderful adventure in an area called Parijs, just south of Johannesburg. So, yeah, it's been an eventful few days, that's for sure. Lots of podcasting with people and some hunting as well, which was very exciting, I must say. Actually, I think, if I'm remembering correctly what he said, the largest wild olive forest in the Southern Hemisphere. So it was amazing to be in that pretty wild, quite rocky, mountainous environment for a couple of days. There's a lot of reasons why that particular hunt that just happened a couple of days ago was so, I guess, powerful in how successful it felt, because there was a lot of things that could have gone wrong. And luck obviously plays a big part whenever we manage to find success in a hunt. But also there was a lot of things that we did right. We were patient. We managed to stay calm. So what actually happened? I guess that's the thing I should probably explain. This was a successful hunt on a Roy hartebeest cow, I believe. If I'm remembering correctly, I think, although it might be a ewe. I think Klein Pete just explained to me that maybe it's a different species that is different in size, but I'm going to say cow because I think the Roy hartebeests are quite big. So there were 2 female Roy hartebeests, and we'd been pursuing them for a little while. At one point they had spooked and kind of walked off not in a flat out run, but they'd moved off to another area. And to be honest, I didn't think that we'd find them again. But we did, over the other side of the hill. And it was in this ideal, thickety kind of environment. Actually, if you're looking on YouTube, you kind of see behind me lots of this kind of thorn bushy, part bush, part tree, high grass environment. So why was this one so special for me? I mean, it's always an amazing achievement when you have a successful hunt, but I think we really had to work hard for this, and it could have gone wrong so many times. We were within 22 yards of these 2 Roy hartebeests for about 25 minutes. So anytime you're in their bubble, it gets harder and harder. There's more and more things that can go wrong. The wind can swirl. They might just decide that they want to feed somewhere else. You can mess up, which has happened to me many times in the past. But that isn't what happened. We managed to actually be patient in some very thick terrain. I managed to maneuver past Ross to a shooting lane. They changed their mind about where they were grazing, went the other way. I then had to change tack, go back the other way, crawling all over Ross, to be honest. And then somehow find a tiny, tiny little window that was no bigger than kind of this to shoot through with my recurve bow, which again is also even more meaningful because it's so difficult to be accurate with those things. And yeah, draw back, managed to get a quartering shot and deliver a fatal shot through the thickest brush I think I've ever hunted through. So that was pretty amazing. There were a few moments, though, when things could have gone wrong, and I'm amazed that they didn't. So I guess 2 things that are part of the story that were of note was the moment when I was changing direction and going to go back over Ross and back across to it, try and find another shooting lane. I tilted my bow. I was quite stiff from being holding in a strange position, and I tilted my bow to the left to kind of thinking about leaning it against a branch for a second. And that act of leaning meant that another branch pushed my arrow off of the area that it's resting. And that then slit the arrow down. And that moment when it kind of landed off, it made a small like ding ding noise, that hollow arrow noise that you never want to hear when you're really close to an animal. I thought that we were done for, because I've heard stories from friends who have lost like an amazing kudu or other animals because of a rattling arrow on a rest. So I thought we were done for at that moment. But I think what played into our favor was the Roy hartebeest were chewing so loudly right next to us. I don't know, I'll do it here, but like you could hear like this, you could hear the grass pulling up, and they were like furiously feeding. So that, I think, played in our favor, and they just happened to be chewing, both of them, at the moment when that happened. So that was a mistake, which I should have been punished for, but thankfully I wasn't. Then the other thing that happened too, just a few minutes before the shot, was some baboons caught our wind, maybe half a mile behind us. And they make this distinct noise when they're on a hill, just like the ones behind me and the ones I can see just here. They'll sit on a rock and they'll make this noise, and that's like an alert sound. And what that does, it echoes through a valley, and all the animals then just get a bit more edgy. They know something's going on. The two Roy hartebeest already knew that something was up. They kept looking in our direction, chewing, looking. I had to really be so careful that both their heads were down at that specific moment. That was when I could move just like 6 inches or lift my bow slightly or make a tiny maneuver. So it took a long time to get into position. So for the last few minutes, when that baboon was just roaring like rawr at me, those Roy hartebeest got far more edgy, and it started feeling like the time was running out. It really did. That hit me with a really kind of like stressful moment. The moment that I turned around, came back past Ross, and found myself a lane, and I saw the Roy hartebeest coming towards me, and it looked like they were actually going to cross where I thought that I needed to be. Whoa, I had such a huge dump of adrenaline. Like, my chemicals in my body really, really pushed hard then at that moment. And I really felt my heart rate go up, and I felt like that kind of, a little bit weak in my legs. And that was a moment when you can easily make a mistake. You can easily do something wrong. Just like shift your weight wrong, snap a twig, move if the sunlight is piercing on you a little bit too much, just move a bit too much. Any of those things can just make the animals run. So it was at that moment that like breathing exercises really worked in my favor. I felt like a little out of control at that moment, so I took a moment just to do some quiet but like deep breaths. I took a few deep breaths in succession. It got back in control of the adrenaline surge that I was having, and also like a double breath like I talk about in one of the previous episodes, and the breathing as well. Check those out. They both leveled me out so that I could then be once again really calm and ready to draw my bow back and take a shot that was, I was very happy with where it landed. So it went straight through and hit, I think, back shoulder, or a rib potentially. But the animal went down and was totally incapacitated. So with a 62-pound recurve and just a 2-blade broadhead, I'll take that as a win any day. Why am I talking all about this now? Well, for one, it just happened and it's really vivid in my mind. But also because breathing is so important, there's another exercise I want to talk about now. And that is even more focused breathing. So breathing and focusing on your breathing is a thing that I've already talked about. But there is a technique which I then started to adopt. I can't remember where I picked it up from, but it's been really helpful for me. Once you go through a regular sequence, like for me, I go through a regular sequence of following my breath in a loose way without too much overbearing control, then doing a body scan from head to toe, all these things I have in previous episodes. After I've finished doing that, I'll then move my focus back to my breath, and I will it's one thing to put your focus on your breath, like where you can feel your body moving it could be in your chest or in your belly. It's different for everyone. But it's very easy to not realize it, but your focus is actually shifting away in between breaths. There's a moment often when you breathe that you are feeling the strongest element of your breath. So for me, I think it's the in-breath I'm realizing now. So it's actually realizing that you are getting distracted and bringing your focus back. So not only are you focusing on your breath for the in-breath or the out-breath, those actions, it's actually the time in between that. So the pause when you breathe in and also then still maintaining focus in your chest or your belly or that point that you've decided to focus on. And then focusing for the out breath, and then also still focusing in that area and seeing how it feels, observing, because you will, when you give it your full attention, you will feel something there. So for me, it's a really good way of really enhancing that level of focus, helping your mind from drifting, and getting your head in that space where everything else sort of relaxes and you give your mind something to focus on for the time that you have allotted. So that was a lot of storytelling. But yeah, we're going to go into the exercise now. So I'm going to do a quick roll through of the things I previously mentioned, and then I'll get into the focus breathing. So we're going to start by taking a few deep breaths. Okay, start by feeling your body on the ground, whether you're sitting or laying. Observe the points where you have the most pressure, places where you feel no pressure. Listen to the sounds around you. Give them your attention for a moment. Listen to your breathing. Maybe you can hear your heart beating. Then move your attention further away. Can you hear noises in the distance? And then other noises far away. Continue to breathe. Now shift your focus to the top of your head. The very top. Feel your hair and your scalp. Observe your forehead, how they feel, your eyebrows, the tops of your ears, down to your earlobes. Bring your attention down the back of your scalp, down your neck. Shift your attention to your cheekbones, the tip of your nose, your lips, your chin, your Adam's apple, your collarbones. Now focus on your shoulders. Drift that attention down your arms, the tops of your arms, the back and the front, your elbows, the fronts of your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your thumbs and your fingers, through to the tips of your fingers. Now bring your attention to the top of your chest. Down to your belly. Follow your attention down your back and your spine, your shoulder blades, to your pelvis. Bring your attention to your backside and your hips. Follow down through your legs, your thighs, into your knees. Observe your shins, the bones in your shins, your calf muscles, down to your ankles and your feet. Give the tops of your feet your attention. Drift down. Now the soles of your feet, from your heel towards your toes. Give your attention to each toe until you get to the tips of all your toes. Now return your focus to your breath. Where do you feel it most? As you breathe in and reach the top of your breath, what are the sensations in the same area? As you breathe out and feel your diaphragm relax, observe how that feels. And then at the end of that breath, hold your focus, continue focusing on the same area. What does it feel like? Feel the breath as you breathe back in. It's easy to get distracted, and that's okay. Just gently bring your attention back to your breath in its full cycle. Again, observe your breath through the in-breath and the out-breath, but also at the tops and the bottoms of the breath. I'm going to continue observing my breath for a few more breaths. Then I'll leave you to continue as long as you like. And let your mind relax. Bring your attention back to your body. Feel your body pushing against the ground. Listen to the sounds around you. Become more aware of the space that you're in. And open your eyes. So that's more focused breathing. Give it a try. Let me know how you get on. And lastly, I don't know if you could pick it up on your microphone here, but it feels quite apt. Just somewhere in the middle of that breathing, I could hear in the distance, just in the hills over here, a baboon making a call. Arr! That's all for now. Thanks for listening. Until next time.